You ever get done with the drawing and you realize these characters that I'm drawing just don't look good at all? Well, I'm here to hopefully help you understand why you're having a hard time drawing figures. And also, I'm going to give you a 3-step formula on how to get better at it. If you want some just let me know. I'm going to show you number one reason why when you go to draw something awesome and you're like, I can't wait to draw this, but then it just does not come out good. Number one reason why this happens, at least for me in my life, but I've seen a lot of other artists do this as well, so check it out. Alright, let us see what's going on here. This is a cool comic, Amazing Spider-Man by Eric Larson did the art. Look at this cool art. It's amazing, like all the energy and you know, oh, wow, like look at how he drew Spider-Man and Punisher. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. I need to draw something like this. Oh wow, and look at this is Todd McFarlane drawing Spider-Man as well. Like he's just amazing. Like look at all that detail. It's crazy. I mean, Spider-Man literally jumps right off the page. I could do something like that, right? Like let me give this a shot. Alright, let's see. So Spider-Man's head goes a little bit something like this, and then just draw some like awesome shoulder muscles and this arm like going down like this. Like look at this, he's gonna be shooting out his webs and everything with his hand. And yeah, I'll erase that little part, but you know, let's see, what else can we do here? Yeah, I don't know, he's just gonna be kind of in an action pose. It's kind of alright, right? I mean, I don't know how to draw, you know, muscles and stuff, but I'll give it a shot, you know. Look at all those crazy spaghetti webs, like Todd McFarlane. Like I have to put that in there, right? Like it's so cool. And then, you know, just kind of make it, you know, a little bit blacked out there and cool stuff. You know, this is pretty awesome. Like I mean, yeah. Look at it, it's finished. And is that good? I don't know. It doesn't quite look like what I just saw in the comics. Now, as much as that was like a manufactured kind of situation, I did my best to try to draw the way I used to draw, but I still actually do make some of those mistakes even to this day. So what it is the drawing I just did was me once again having a organizational issue. Basically, I was doing the steps of drawing in the wrong order, and this is a big mistake that a lot of people do. I say wrong order, but there are some people who are professional artists who don't follow these steps the way I do them, and it's perfectly fine. If you found a way that works for you, okay, that's fine. Art is in some ways subjective, and if you can still get a good result without doing the rules this way, then more power to you. But for me and for a lot of other people, I've found that starting with detail first is kind of a natural way to try to draw, but it's kind of the worst way to draw. So once again, it's an organizational issue. What you want to do is do this 3-step formula, which is first do the gesture, second do the form, and third do the detail. And I find when I make sure that I do these 3 steps in order, I come out with a much better drawing. Let's try it out. Alright, so what we're doing here is what is called the line of action or the gesture drawing. There's a lot of different kind of terms that are used for this kind of technique, and basically you're trying to find the movement and kind of the grand action. I don't know, it's hard to explain exactly what it is. It's like the energy of it. You're not looking at structure, you're not looking at anything you know, like form or details yet. You're just trying to get that movement, trying to get the essence of the character and how they're moving, even if they're just standing or sitting. There's a certain energy to it or lack thereof, and that's what you're trying to capture here. So it's really good to do these as warm-ups before you start drawing, but then also when you're trying to figure out a drawing, you can see I did 4 different tries and I landed on the 4th one, and now I'm going to try Spider-Man again with this more dynamic pose. Now I'm starting to move on to form, but it's only after I've already gotten that line of action, that spirit, that, gesture, and it really does help to do that first. It's hard to discipline yourself to do that. It's so easy to just go right into form and detail, but it's really helpful. And so I'm working out the form, I'm working out the shapes, I'm trying to find the perspective of each arm and leg, and just the volume of everything, and how it's either coming at you in a more three-dimensional manner, or just how the structure is of the body, and it's good to start with shapes. And then here, once I've kind of gotten the shapes, I erased it a little bit, so it's kind of like turning down the transparency if you work digitally, and so you can still see underneath some stuff, but now I'm really working out the form a little more, and I'm starting to add a little bit of the form of the actual anatomy in there. Now, I'm not great at anatomy, but you'll find, even if you're not great at anatomy, if you've started with the right steps first, if you've started with gesture first, and then gone into shape, and worked on that, you'll find out that your drawings look a lot better, even if your anatomy isn't perfect. And you can see here I keep fixing and changing the foot. It's a lot easier because I haven't gone into detail yet. It's a lot easier to erase and try new things at this stage with just the form than it is if you've put all that detail in there and you have to try to erase. Now here's the fun part. I got a picture of Spider-Man, and now I can go work on the details. So I found a good kind of turnaround of Spider-Man, so I can know what his costume looks like in all the little detail parts. And this is kind of, it's sort of the fun part. You can see this little spider. I went in and tried to draw it first without actually putting the gesture in. Then I put that little circle there. Again, putting even the circle or the shape in there helps now to make the spider look better inside the chest. And now I'm working on the detail. Now at this point, the form and the gesture is already worked out, so it's not as much work to erase and go change things if I've messed up. Now we're moving on to the computer, and again I am actually drawing the form a little bit here, indicating it just for my own reference, not like anything major, but I did do some form work before I jumped into the detail, and now I'm really getting into the detail and trying to work out that anatomy, trying to work out some of the light and shadow. And again, I'm not getting the anatomy perfect. I wish I was better at anatomy, but I'm still working on that, but still, doesn't it look so much better now that I started with a good gesture and built out the form on top of it first before I went into the detail? Here I'm just showing some of the shapes that go into making this, and you're thinking about things like the horizon line. I mean, as you learn things, you can study gesture on its own, you can study form on its own, and then detail on its own, and learn these things, and you can see the movement. Again, I like to put the shoulders and the waist here. You can see the shoulder and the waistline. I kind of like to make them opposing a lot of times. It doesn't always have to be that way, but it makes for more dynamic poses sometimes when you do that, especially in action scenes. So here's the finished piece, and I mean, look, doesn't it look so much better? The anatomy is not perfect, the rendering isn't perfect, but it just looks so much better than the original piece, I think. So I don't know, this is one thing that's really helped me, and I think it can help you as well. If you want to see some more videos about making comics and stuff, check out to the left of here, and you'll find some really cool. And on the right, you can see a video of me finishing this piece and talking about why comics are so great. So yeah, check that out, and please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if this was helpful, and I'll talk to you in the next one.